Hi boys and girls, welcome back to Story Time. We are still here at the Tulsa Zoo. Today we are going to be reading Snow Leopard, Ghost of the Mountains, written by Justin Anderson and illustrated by Patrick Benson. The people who live among the Himalayan mountains tell stories of a mysterious animal they call the Great Ghost. They say that if you see one, you'll be so happy and excited. You'll feel as if your soul is flying. But this wondrous animal is incredibly rare and hard to find, so I'll be very lucky if I spot one on my trek. My guide and I leave the village behind and travel together up into the mountains. As we climb one slow step and then another, the slope gets ever steeper. Suddenly, just in front of us, we see tracks in the snow, a line of paw prints that comes from high up on the ridge. Something moves in the rocks ahead. My hands start to tremble, my heart is beating fast, but I must remain silent and still. The Gray Ghost lives as high as 18,000 feet up in the mountains. At this height, the air has only half the oxygen it does at sea level. So as hikers climb these peaks, they get out of breath more easily. There, not far away, is a snow leopard. Her coat is pale gold and silver gray with black rosettes. It's easy to lose sight of her among the rocks. The rosettes look like the shadows under stones and boulders, and her pale belly reflects the color of the ground, breaking up her outline and allowing her to disappear into the landscape. Snow leopards can wander an area of up to almost 400 square miles. This makes them very hard to track. The snow leopard licks her paws. They are huge. It's as if she is wearing shoes that are much too big. They help her to spread her weight and travel across the deepest snow without sinking. If you could get close enough to touch a snow leopard's fur, you would find 4,000 hairs tightly packed into the space beneath your fingertip. The thick fur growing on the soles of their feet helps keep them warm and keep them from slipping on icy rocks. In the mountains, the weather can change in an instant. As the cold wind blows and fresh snow begins to fall, the leopard curls up, wrapping her tail around her paws like a cozy scarf. She buries her nose behind her tail's thick, spotted fur. Snow leopards have the longest tail of any cat. Not only is it an amazing scarf, but it also helps keep their balance when they're jumping between rocks or chasing prey. As the storm passes, the snow leopard shakes off the snow, stretches and yawns. We watch quietly as she stops at an overhanging rock. She rubs against it with her cheek, turns her back, lifts her tail, and squirts pee over the rock. It's a message for other cats to sniff out. This is how snow leopards stay in touch across the vastness of the mountains without meeting one another. A clutter of hooves and the rattle of sliding rocks break the silence. Not all mountain animals are as quiet as the snow leopard. 6 ibex are crossing the slope below. The snow leopard has spotted them, and she is hungry. She sneaks in closer with her camouflage coat. She seems to melt into the snow side. Snow leopards hunt ibex, blue sheep, partridges, marmots, and sometimes goats and yaks. They can leap 30 feet in a single bound to catch their prey. The muscles in their shoulders tense. She is ready to strike. But something startles the ibex. They whistle an alarm and run away fast. The rocks they send tumbling sound like rain. There's a second snow leopard. It is her cub. The cub is almost as big as her mother, but still has a lot to learn about keeping quiet when her mom is hunting. The cub was born 2 years ago, blind and helpless, in a secret mountain cave that her mother had lined with warm fur from her own coat. At 7 days old, the cub opened her big blue eyes for the first time. She weighed less than a can of beans, but grew fast on her mother's milk. At 2 months old, the cub tasted her first meat, and a month later she was ready to leave the cave. Since then, she has followed her mother everywhere, learning how to survive, though soon she'll have to make her own way in the mountains. But for now, they snuggle up closely, nuzzling each other. The cub yawns and they begin to doze, soaking up what little warmth there is from the sun. Their tails curl together as if they are holding hands. I can't believe my eyes. I am watching 2 snow leopards. That is very lucky indeed. As the sun starts to sink, the leopards wake and slowly climb the mountain higher and higher, beyond where we can hope to follow them. For a second, I think they have disappeared. But then I see a tiny figure right on the summit. It's the mother leopard. She begins to sing, her long, haunting yowl echoing around the mountains before fading on the wind. And then she is gone. The gray ghost has vanished, swallowed up by the silence. The end. I hope you guys will join me next time for more zoo stories. I'll see you later. Bye.